it's me, Gunny. I have my face here for the first time, and my friend, Anaya.
Hi.
And so today we're gonna film, as the title would say, we're filming our story time with what's called doing subliminals, and our experience, so we can just show you how that how that went, or just tell you how that went. So we started, well, she introduced me to subliminals.
Yeah, I'm the culprit here. I saw that someone had been using Quadible Integrity, and they had changed their eye colors, so there was like a group of everyone who's trying to change their eye colors. So her eyes went from like dark brown to like a ring of blue. So from there I thought, oh my god, is this shit really possible? And so I told Ganita about it.
Yeah, and so that's how that happened, and then we explored that, like, oh, what can we do with vibration? What can we do with subliminals? And we got to the attract men one.
Yeah,
as you know, we were, well, I mean, I'm not single anymore, but you know, we were like, I want attention. I need, please compliment me and all that, right? And so
An adventure
for sure. And so we did the attract men one, and then the one, yeah, like I did it, and then the very next day it was with another friend, and we went to Chinatown, and this random Chinese lady, like half blind, looked at me, and then she patted on my shoulder, and she was like, you have a good aura, like really good aura and whatnot, right? And I was like, what the heck was that, right? So that was my strange experience. We noticed with it that you wouldn't really get like the end all of like, oh, man will fall in love with me happily ever after.
Yeah, no, that never really happened. I mean, my experience of it, and I can't remember like in details exactly what happened with every person, but there would be people kind of just like men just noticing me, whether it was on the bus, and like starting to chat with me, like maybe like 2 or 3, you know. And I found that the more I listened to it, like in the beginning when I listened to it, it happened to be there were a couple guys who already like had a crush on me. They were messaging me more after I started listening to that. But it took weeks of listening to it and trying to actually manifest that attention and attraction to have people who were probably less interested in me kind of showing me their attention. So that was neat, but it didn't really go further than that.
That's same with me, my experience. Like, I get random strangers saying, like, complimenting me, and I'd be so creeped out sometimes, right? But besides that, nothing really big happened, except recently where I tried it again. This was, don't worry, this was during a breakup phase, and I got some weird messages, and like I got one random message, one weird random message, and another one too, and then someone shared recently, today, some random dude shared my freaking Facebook photo on his...
What a creep.
On his fucking Facebook, and like nobody said anything. It was just like one like, and I was like, what the heck? Like, how hard is he trying for that green card, you know? Because he's not from here. So yeah, there was that, and so this is where the juicy parts come in. So we were in the midst of doing the subliminal, we got to explore other channels, right?
Cough, mind power.
Mind power, right? Don't ever turn man power. That's our moral of whatever the story's gonna become.
Yeah. Careful.
Be careful. So we tried mind power, and we did the money. What was it?
Attract, money, subliminal. And when I did that, like, what I noticed at first was I was getting dreams. Like, I had a dream that I found money in the snow, and I thought, whoa, this feels so good, because, you know, something's showing up. That was the start of it. But then afterwards, what happened was I listened to it like for the whole night once, and I started having nightmares. How about you?
Yeah, that's same. Like, I just had I never had the best of experience. It'd be like very shitty days, and the main parts of it is like one time we did a whole meditation with mind power, and we freaking like we went in and we were like, oh, we feel so good after, we're like, we feel so energized, and then as soon as I drop her off to the bus stop nearby, and I'm not even kidding, like 20 seconds later, 10 seconds later, I hear her saying my name. And I saw her get on the freaking bus. And there's no way in 10, 20 seconds that she'd be able to reach me.
I didn't say anything.
Right? And I fucking ran. I didn't look back. I was like, no. And so with research and one of her friends looking at Mind Power, we found out that Mind Power deletes her freaking any negative comments. So that's how we were able to just go on there and be like, oh, there's not really any negative comments, so we'll just get onto it. And with the Subliminals, apparently it was some satanic, some negative,
some like satanic shit or whatever. Like my this was my really close friend, and she listened to it and found that her problems with her boyfriend were just getting super bad at that time. That was the time that they almost broke up versus other times where it wasn't happening. And she also felt low in energy, but what she discovered was, okay, isn't it weird how people are always saying I love you, Mind Power, and brainwashing people to sort of love Mind Power. And apparently there were like some sexual kinds of subliminals, I don't know, so hidden subliminals. But after, like, she really brought my attention to that.
So that was that. And so we're like, okay, let's not do this. I think right after the Mind Power, it's like, no more subliminals, please. That was the freakiest shit. I don't ever want that again. So I got away from subliminals until recently. I'm like, okay, I could get into this, into my life. But we do have some recommendations for subliminals. Like the, not Attract Love, it's the Love Vibration from Quadible Integrity.
That was good.
And
like a frequency kind of
video. Those love ones. Also, do not try the I know Quadible Integrity is really good from our experience, except one video where it was, again, attract money or something like that.
Money flows to me. I know that it sucks if I start getting nightmares. Like the Love Vibration always made me feel like $1,000,000, and when I was listening to the Money Flows, I would get a lot of nightmares. But what also happened was I recommended it to this other very spiritual person, and she was trying to get back some money that her landlord owed her. But as she started listening to it, apparently her landlord dropped dead in court. So that was very bizarre.
Did she get the money back though?
No, she didn't get the money back. Like,
okay, fair enough. So that's the only one that, like, it's this one. You'll see a Quadible Integrity. There'll be an infinite sign and some Chinese characters at the top, and this like
green and blue
color, and it'll have that triangle thing with all the different variations of what money, like yen, all that stuff, right? Money signs. And that's basically our story with subliminals. Anything else?
Wait, there's more.
Oh, okay.
Remember the aesthetic subliminals?
Oh
So I was listening to Aesthetic Subliminals, which she actually found, and we were listening to it to make our lives more adventurous. So I found that, at least while I was listening to it, I would see more run-ins with police, police catching people. There was this, literally I was on the bus, and this kind of lady that was high off, I think, hairspray or some kind of spray, and she was kicked off the bus by the bus driver, and the police took her away. And then that was during that time. And then I think about 2 weeks later, I was at the train station early morning, and I see, like, there's this one dude repairing his bicycle. Someone else is yelling, like, I need to go to Medicine Hat. It was just like, sorry, this stuff might not make any sense, but it was really random.
I remember her telling me about all this crazy stuff that would happen.
But what really takes the cake is, well, I was doing a manifestation process, and I really wanted to go live on an island. So I would listen to Aesthetic Subliminals, and I would sort of visualize what I wanted, and really feel different kinds of feelings, like a variety of different feelings. I used this like emotions chart. It was there's a periodic table of emotions by Chris Gorell. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I used sort of that chart to kind of feel a variety of different emotions, and I would imagine this island. Also, one day I said, okay, I'm just gonna apply for a job and see what I get. And so I went to Yellow Pages and I saw there was something for Salt Spring Island. I went to apply to a place over there, and what ended up happening was I got the job and I went and lived there for 7 months. But what was very, very crazy, and this was the most adventurous part of my life, was moving into a place that had been previously a drug dealer's place. And like, oh, it was really messed up because the landlord was kind of stealing people's shit and then selling them in the garage sale. So the first few months of just living there was just really hectic, and I met all these very weird and crazy characters over in that island. Yeah,
I remember all the stories. It's crazy how much adventure she had, and it's not like, you have to really, I feel like with the subliminals and all that, you have to really be like, really choose what you want, because otherwise the universe will be like, hey, there's something for you, whatnot, right?
pretty much.
Because it's just the whole, like, if you're gonna meditate to something, make sure it's very specific. And you had the whole I don't know who it's from, but you had the whole, you have to envision, I want this, and then in the present tense of like, I had this, and then in the past tense of like, oh, I'm so thankful for this, I'm glad I had this, thank you for this, and whatnot, right? And that's what you usually have to do, and make sure it's very specific. And if any kind of demonic stuff happens to you or whatnot, right, make sure you don't want to have that energy. I would suggest, like, mediums always recommend this, is that you ask your spirit angel, whatever, your spirit guides, spirit angels, to be like, please have protection around me, please protect me, only let what I want in, basically, right? Like, just have some protection around you, whatnot, with that stuff.
I think also with mind power, you had, remember that time when before you went to Japan and you were listening to mind power and you could feel like spirits kind of pissing you off?
So I think that really increases your vibrations or whatever, if you already had some to begin with, of like sensing kind of ghosts and all that stuff, right? But with using mind power, it was very like, I was so irritated. It was just like having, like, for example, I know, like, I have allergies, right? And it kind of felt like that, of like, I have all these like things irritating me and I wanted to get it off, but it wasn't itchy, right? It was like, just get off. But there was, obviously, it's like, you can't touch them, right? You can't just like get off or whatnot, right? So again, I did the thing of like, okay, my spirit angel or spirit guides and my angel, please protect me or whatever. And eventually, a little bit, like a few minutes after, 30 minutes after, everything would go away. So
yeah, but remember, there was that when you went to Japan and you stopped listening to subliminals, that's when you noticed you had less encounters with like ghosts pissing you off.
I feel like it's the less you practice with your spiritual, not even spirituality, the less you at least for me, like, the more I meditate, the more I feel them. The less I meditate, then the less I feel them, right? So it really depends.
Yeah, and it was really neat because with Salt Spring Island, it's like, even though I meditated less, I just happened to be more intuitive, and they say it's because it's kind of built upon quartz crystals. So that was also interesting.
That's interesting. It was a very
like random.
Anything more with subliminals? I think that's
not that I can think of, but
I think that's basically some of it. Again, we're exposing mind power right now, so exposed. This is from our personal experience. I want to say months. It was like 2 months. 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
2 months of at least, solid experience of continuously using subliminals. I guess this will be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit that like button if you actually, really enjoyed this. We will post more about this. And if you have any questions about subliminals and your experience of like, oh, what do I do about this, I'd be free to, even though I'm not like an expert on this, I've had my fair share of like asking questions. So if you want to ask anything, go ahead in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them through my experience or through her experience.
Cool.
So yeah, anyways, enjoy your day and
stay safe.
Stay safe
with energy.
Stay safe. Remember, have your like guardian angel just be like, please protect me, please, and all this other stuff, and only the things that you want. So anyways, yeah, I will just say bye.